countries, and there are a large number of Chinese in many other countries, and some of these Chinese chose to live and work in other countries in the early days of my country's reform, and even changed their nationality to become citizens of other countries. Our country has a large number of Japanese Chinese in Japan, but now there is a phenomenon that a large number of Japanese Chinese are saying that they want to return to our country and hope that the motherland can accept them. As for their appeal, it is actually closely related to the development of countries, so this issue is worthy of our further analysis. According to statistics in 2017, there are as many as 750,000 Chinese living in Japan in my country, and as many as 150,000 of them have Japanese nationality. In fact, such a number of people accounts for a large part of Japan, which has a small population. Therefore, when you travel to Japan, you will not be surprised to see many Chinese faces. In the current period, regarding the desire of Japanese Chinese living in Japan to return to their country, it is inevitable to express their longing for the motherland. However, in this process, if you want to truly return to the motherland and obtain the nationality of our country, you have to face many problems, among which there are huge challenges and unknowns. Furthermore, when they chose to convert their nationality to Japanese nationality, it was already a decision made after careful consideration for them. Now, if they want to return to their motherland's nationality, this will inevitably involve more considerations. In the early days of the reform, due to the fact that my country's overall situation was still relatively backward at that time, the development in many aspects naturally did not look particularly good. So at that time, Japan, which had a smaller land area but faster economic development, was obviously more attractive, so many people converted to Japanese nationality. But now, as the Japanese economy develops faster and faster, it actually causes a series of problems in their living environment and work. Especially in the current period, Japan has experienced a very serious aging process, accompanied by a serious imbalance in the ratio of men to women. The emergence of these problems is a huge pressure on Japanese society, and it is a relatively unfavorable factor for the distribution of their overall resources and the development of the country. On the other hand, our country, although our country was in a relatively backward state earlier, but with our country's continuous efforts, the changes in the appearance of our country's cities in the current period have been very obvious, and it is especially prominent in economic development. At the same time, in the global market economy, our country also occupies a relatively large share. With the continuous strengthening of our country, our international status is getting higher and higher, and we have a higher right to speak. The overall conditions have become more and more prominent. Under such circumstances, the gap between Japan and my country has become wider and wider. For some high-end talents, the country can now provide better resources and even many other favorable conditions. I believe everyone can see and feel the benefits of the motherland. As for the return of Japanese Chinese, the motherland naturally accepts it. Because there are many talents from the motherland and capable people from all walks of life among these Japanese Chinese, their return to China is also an improvement in our country's high-quality labor force and talent pool. Moreover, our country itself is a subject that can accommodate different nationalities and countries. It is precisely because of this that our culture will be displayed more internationally. At the same time, we will have a deeper understanding of the cultures of other countries. I believe Japan Chinese nationals will also bring more culture to the motherland, even richer ideas and some experience and technology from all walks of life. However, although the return of Japanese Chinese to the motherland is of significance to our country, if you want to return to the motherland, you need to abide by the review process and provide relevant materials. This is also to prevent some bad social records. But it is precisely these seemingly cumbersome procedures that also show the importance and seriousness of the motherland to the information of returnees. For Japanese Chinese who want to return to China, as long as they meet the requirements and submit relevant materials, they can still return to the embrace of the motherland after going through the review process. Our country is no longer the motherland they left when they left, so when they return to the embrace of the motherland, I believe they can feel the prosperity of the motherland and the technological advancement reflected in the continuous progress of our country. Rapid promotion, and greater economic advantages. In fact, in the world now, there are a lot of situations where people want to acquire the nationality of the motherland after changing their nationality, and they will appear in many countries. This is the phenomenon, and it also means that the world is very inclusive of cultural backgrounds. With the change of times, this is also a kind of sign that has emerged under the development of national globalization. In the entire top-level design, the government originally wanted to rely on the power of the market and capital to solve the so-called three new mountains of education, medical care, and housing, just as it successfully relied on the market and capital, introducing foreign capital, more than 40 years ago. The problem of widespread poverty has been solved. However, due to the excessive profit-seeking, commercialization, and short-sightedness of capital, it does not match. Many nasty problems have been exposed. When the problem was gradually exposed, the top management started a seemingly tough process of decapitalization. However, such decapitalization, under the background that these three major areas are very closely related to the international capital market, there are a large number of education and medical companies listed on the US stock market, while real estate companies have huge foreign debts, caused a huge revaluation of Chinese concept stocks and Chinese dollar bonds, or the collapse of value, may accelerate the decoupling of the Chinese economy from the global capital market. However, this may no longer be a high-level priority. From a national level, poverty is certainly not socialism, but after the general poverty problem is solved, what will be done in the next 100 years? National unity, common prosperity, and national rejuvenation. This is the country's grand strategy, and this is the first trend that investment should look at. There is a big logic here. China is a socialist market economy. This combination is intriguing, and the weight of socialism and market economy can be constantly adjusted according to the needs of the situation. The original intention of the reform and opening up in the early days was to solve the problem of expanding the increment through the market economy, and then solve the problem of stock distribution through socialism. It can be said that in the logic of the entire policy design, it is time to adjust the combined weight of socialism and market economy. Whether to have more markets or more plans depends on the ultimate goal, whether it is efficiency or fairness, whether it is to encourage the rich first or to suppress the rich later. Looking back, the 18th National Congress of the Communist Party of China is the peak of the discourse power of the market economy. Since the 19th National Congress of the Communist Party of China, great changes have taken place in the high-level discourse system. To do macro, we must have a deep understanding of the profound connotation of the new era of socialism. At present, after the absolute poverty problem is solved, the next step is to solve the relative gap between the rich and the poor, as well as a series of livelihood issues. This is an inevitable choice at the intersection of two centuries. Decapitalization may be the first step, and then reconsider the boundaries of marketization, or fully nationalize and return to the unified model. For the new three big mountains, the country originally wanted to solve them through the means of the market economy, especially the 18th National Congress, which raised the market economy to an unprecedented height since the reform and opening up. However, more than 10 years of practice has proved that the problem of the new three mountains cannot be solved by relying on the market and private capital alone. Then it is natural to return to socialism, which is the instinctive national will and policy response. The market economy is responsible for efficiency, there must be brave men under heavy rewards, and making money stimulates people's enthusiasm. Socialism is responsible for fairness, education, medical treatment, there is a place to live, which reflects a kind of human rights. For more than 40 years, socialism and the market economy have been advancing in the contradictory relationship between integration and conflict, showing another kind of resilience and tension in China's economic and social system. It is precisely this tension that has achieved the current development results of the Chinese economy. However, if this resilient space and tension disappear, a huge institutional involution and a historical resurgence are likely to occur. This should not be judged blindly, because the reform itself is a process of continuous trial and error. In terms of dynamics, many people don't turn back if they don't hit the south wall, and don't give up until they reach the yellow ribbon. In the narrative system of the top-level designers, the current reforms are tough, and all the easy ones have been changed. Now every reform is a tough battle. What is the reason? Because China's economic development has now entered a new stage. The main feature is the emergence of various social problems that cannot be solved by money. That is to say, the ship of reform has entered a gray area, a uncertain quantum world, and many problems are superposition states of different attributes. Simple problems are easy to solve, but many problems now are the superposition of socialism and market economy, the superposition of government and market. We call this state the deep water area of reform, the no man's land. The medical system is a typical representative, and almost no country can handle it well. Because the product of medical treatment is neither a purely private good nor a pure public good, but a superimposed product. Reform in this area is the most difficult. Recently, I have been conducting research on quasi-public goods and social enterprises. Because many problems in the future, global and domestic, including health, environmental protection, climate, social stability and many other serious problems, are not purely economic and commercial problems, but very complex social problems. To solve these problems, we cannot rely solely on the public sector, nor can we rely solely on commercial enterprises. There should be a third way. However, this path goes beyond the cognition of traditional economics. Whether it is neoclassical economics or socialist economics, it is difficult to explain it. The former wants to deny the basic assumption of self-interest of rational people, while the latter wants to subvert planning commission calculation model. It is very difficult to achieve these 2 points, and they are both broken attachments to fatal conceit. China's economy has developed for decades, and the practice of reform and opening up is to solve the problem of insufficient aggregate supply through market-oriented methods. In a planned economy, supply is insufficient, and in a market economy, demand is insufficient. The first 30 years of marketization can be said to be very successful. In the early days of the reform, we often said that one package is effective. As long as the responsibilities and rights are clarified, especially the minimum profit accounting unit is minimized, the Chinese people will be motivated by money, driven by infinite enthusiasm. Therefore, the most successful reform in China is the household contract responsibility system. With the family as the smallest independent accounting unit, the role of the market economy has been brought into full play. However, social problems such as education, medical care, and housing cannot be solved simply by using the market economy and using a one-package all-you-can-eat approach. Because they are a quasi-public product in theory, or a mixture of public and private products, the design of their supply and demand system itself is a worldwide problem. Even the seemingly perfect Western developed countries that have established a market economy plus social security system for many years have been widely criticized for their practices in this regard. For example, the medical system in the United States is almost in an unsolvable state. Whether it is the adoption of universal medical insurance or the development of the private medical industry, it cannot solve the problem. It has always been the target of public criticism and has been criticized. This kind of products and services with both social and commercial attributes, as a kind of gray area, can neither be completely relied on by the government to adopt the means of planned economy, nor can it be completely solved by the market economy through the invisible hand of commercial interests. These have given economics and policy science a very difficult problem. More than 10 years ago, the Chinese government hoped to guide the entry of private capital, mainly education and medical care, to solve the 3 big mountains of the new society by improving and expanding supply. However, more than 10 years have passed, and these 3 major livelihood issues have not been clearly resolved, but have also entered a state of involution. Primary and middle school students are overwhelmed by the pressure of various after-school remedial classes. It is becoming more and more difficult to see a doctor, and the relationship between doctors and patients is becoming more and more tense. Real estate speculation is unstoppable, and real estate in first-tier cities has become the underlying asset of financial derivatives. What is the reason? I think there are 3 main ones. First, there is a huge information asymmetry and positive externalities in these fields, mainly medical and educational products and services, which cannot be fully standardized, and the dominant power of information lies with the suppliers. If it is completely guided by the market and commercial interests, the supply side will be driven by interests and use information advantages to make behaviors that are not conducive to the demand side. Explained by the theory of incomplete contracts, there are so many areas that cannot be covered by contracts in these areas that they lead to market failure. Precisely because people use the supplementary agreement of moral sentiment and public opinion, calling doctors white angels and teachers human gardeners in an attempt to use the constraints and incentives of the market mechanism. Incentives and constraints at the moral level make up for problems at the market and business levels. It can be said that a general rule is that the more emphasis is placed on moral areas, the more areas that cannot be resolved by the market mechanism. Morality, however, is a soft constraint. Zhao Jian, to overthrow the 3 new mountains, decapitalization is only the first step. In this space, we will explore the most innovative and impactful artificial intelligence projects, from cutting-edge research to real-world applications. Whether you're a tech enthusiast or simply curious about the future of AI, you'll find plenty of exciting ideas and insights to inspire you. Let's dive in. In this space, artificial intelligence has made a significant impact on our daily lives. Every time you scroll through social media, open Spotify, or do a quick Google search, you are using an application of AI. The AI industry has expanded massively in the past few years and is predicted to grow even further, reaching around $126 billion by 2025. Multinational companies like IBM, Accenture, and Apple are actively hiring AI practitioners. The median salary of an AI engineer as of 2021 is $171,715 that can go over $250,000. Build a face recognition system in Python using FaceNet. Downloadable solution code explanatory videos tech support. Start project. The field of AI is vast, and there are many areas within the industry that you can choose to specialize. Say, if you are intrigued by facial recognition systems and image generation, you can choose to work in the field of computer vision. If you'd like to build models, converse with people and learn human language, you can work in the field of NLP, natural language processing. There is a lot of work being done today for the advancement of artificial intelligence. Companies need AI specialists who can build and deploy scalable models to meet growing industry demands. It isn't tough to get started in the field of AI. While there is the complexity involved in building machine learning models from scratch, most AI jobs in the industry today don't require you to know the math behind these models. Many companies require individuals who can build AI solutions, scale them, and deploy them for the end user. Many high-level libraries and frameworks can help you do this without an in-depth knowledge of how the models work. There are a variety of AI projects you can do to gain a grasp of these libraries. If you are looking to break into AI and don't have a professional qualification, the best way to land a job is to showcase some interesting artificial intelligence projects on your portfolio or show your contributions to open-source AI projects. Building artificial intelligence projects not only improve your skill set as an AI engineer, but it also is a great way to display your artificial intelligence skills to prospective employers to land your dream future job. Table of Contents. 20 Artificial Intelligence Projects Ideas for Beginners to Practice in 2021. Artificial Intelligence Projects Ideas for Beginners. 1 Resume Parser. 2 Face Detector. 3 Translator App. 4 Instagram Spam Detection. 5 Object Detection System. 6 Animal Species Prediction. 7 Pneumonia Detection with Python. 8 Teachable Machine. 9 Autocorrect Tool. 10 Fake Product Review Identification. Intermediate/advanced level Artificial Intelligence Project Ideas. 1 Price Comparison Application. 2 Ethnicity Detection Model. 3 Traffic Prediction. 4 Age Detection Model. 5 Image to Pencil. 6 Speech Recognition Model. 7 Text Generation Model. 8 Color Detection. 9 Sign Language Recognition App with Python. 10. Detecting Violence in Videos. Latest open source AI projects. 1 Blindness Detection. 2 Real-Time Face Mask Detector. 3 Self-Driving Car Behavioral Cloning. Current AI projects Google AI projects. 1 Hidden Interfaces for Ambient Computing. 2 Improved Detection of Elusive Polyps. 3 Document Extraction using FormNet. AI projects for students. 1 Building a Telegram bot. 2 Keyword Research using Python. How to launch a career in AI. FAQs. What are some good AI projects for beginners? Why AI projects fail. 20 Artificial Intelligence Projects Ideas for Beginners to Practice in 2023. Without much ado, let's explore 20 artificial intelligence projects you can build and showcase on your resume. These AI projects will have varying levels of difficulty for Heroes Beginner, Intermediate, and Advanced. Project Pro industry experts suggest starting with simple artificial intelligence projects if you are new to the AI industry. As your skills progress, you can move on to practicing more advanced AI-based projects. Download Artificial Intelligence Mini Project PDF. Artificial Intelligence Projects Ideas for Beginners. Here are a few AI project ideas for beginners in the field who are interested in learning AI concepts. 1 Resume Parser AI Project. Recruiters spend a lot of time skimming through resumes to find the best candidate for a job position. Since there can be hundreds of applications for a single position, This process has been automated in several ways. The most common is keyword matching. Resumes are shortlisted and read by the recruiters based on a set of keywords found in a candidate's resume. Otherwise, the resume is discarded, and the candidate is rejected for the job. However, this screening process has many drawbacks. Candidates are aware of the keyword matching algorithm, and many of them insert as many keywords as possible into their resumes to get shortlisted by the company. You can build a resume parser with the help of artificial intelligence and machine learning techniques that can skim through a candidate's application and identify skilled candidates, filtering out people who fill their resume with unnecessary keywords. You can use the resume dataset available on Kaggle to build this model. This dataset contains only 2 columns: a shop title and the candidate's resume information. The data is present in the form of text and needs to be pre-processed. You can use the NLTK Python library for this purpose. Then, you can build a clustering algorithm that groups closely related words and skills that a candidate should possess in each domain. Words that are similar in context, and not just keywords, should be considered. You can assign a final weightage score to each resume from 0, least favorable, to 10, most favorable. This is the most beginner-friendly project if you want to learn AI. Dataset, Kaggle Resume Dataset. New projects. EMR serverless example to build a search engine for COVID-19. View project. Mastering A/B testing. A practical guide for production. View project. Multi-label classification project for predicting shipment modes. View project. Databricks real-time streaming with event hubs and Snowflake. View project. dbt Snowflake project to master dbt fundamentals in Snowflake. View project. Build an ETL pipeline with tailend for export of data from cloud. View project. Learn efficient multi-source data processing with tailend ETL. View project. A/B testing approach for comparing performance of ML models. View project. AWS CDK project for building real-time IoT infrastructure. View project. Migration of MySQL databases to cloud AWS using AWS DMS. View project. EMR serverless example to build a search engine for COVID-19. View project. Mastering A/B testing. A practical guide for production. View project. Multi-label classification project for predicting shipment modes. View project. Databricks real-time streaming with event hubs and Snowflake. View project. dbt Snowflake project to master dbt fundamentals in Snowflake. View project. Build an ETL pipeline with tailend for export of data from cloud. View project. Learn efficient multi-source data processing with tailend ETL. View project. A/B testing approach for comparing performance of ML models. View project. AWS CDK project for building real-time IoT infrastructure. View project. Migration of MySQL databases to cloud AWS using AWS DMS. View project. View all new projects. 2 Fake news detector project in AI. Fake news is misleading or false information that is circulated as news. It is often difficult to distinguish between fake and real news, and it isn't until the situation gets blown out of proportion that it comes to light. The spreading of fake news becomes especially dangerous during times like elections or pandemic situations. Fake rumors and misinformation that pose harm to human lives are threatening to people and the society. Fake news needs to be detected and prevented early, before it causes panic and spreads to a large number of people. For this very interesting project, you will build a fake news detector. You can use the real and fake news dataset available on Kaggle. You can use a pre-trained machine learning model called BERT to perform this classification. BERT is a natural language processing, NLP, model that has been made open source. You can load BERT into Python and just add one additional output layer for your text classification task. 3 Translator app. If you are interested in getting started in the field of natural language processing, you should try building a translator app with the help of a transformer. A transformer model extracts features from sentences and determines the importance of each word in a sentence. A transformer has an encoding and decoding component, both of which are trained end-to-end. You can build your own AI translator app with a transformer. To do this, you can load a pre-trained transformer model into Python. Then, transform the text you want to translate into tokens and feed it into the pre-trained model. You can use the Gluon NLP library for this purpose. You can also load the train and test dataset for this AI project from this library. Python package, Gluon NLP. For Instagram spam detection. Have you ever received a notification that someone commented on your Instagram post? You excitedly pick up your phone and open the app only to find that it's a bot promoting some knockoff brand of shoes. The comment section of many Instagram posts is filled with bots. They can range from annoying to dangerous, depending on the type of call to action they require from you. You can build a spam detection model using AI techniques to identify the difference between spam and legitimate comments. You might not be able to find a dataset that has a collection of Instagram spam comments, but you can collect the data for this analysis by scraping the web. Access the Instagram API with Python to get unlabeled comments from Instagram. You can use a different set of data for training, like Kaggle's YouTube spam collection dataset. Then, use keywords to classify words that commonly appear in spam comments. Use a technique like n-gram to assign weightage to words that tend to appear in spam comments. Compare those words with each scraped comment from the web. Another approach you can take is the use of a distance-based algorithm like cosine similarity. These approaches will yield better results based on the type of pre-processing you apply. If you remove stop words, witty spaces, punctuation and clean the data correctly, you will find that the algorithm performs better as it can match similar words with each other. You can also use a pre-trained model like Albert for better results. While distance or weightage matching algorithms work well in finding similar words, they are unable to grasp the context of a sentence. NLP models like BERT and Albert can do this better, as they consider factors like sentence context, coherence, and interpretability. Get closer to your dream of becoming a data scientist with 70+ solved end-to-end ML projects. 5. Object Detection System. You can demonstrate skills in the field of computer vision with this project. An object detection system can identify classes of objects present within an image by utilizing computer vision techniques in the background. For example, suppose an image contains a picture of you working on a laptop. In that case, an object detection system should be able to identify and label you, human, and the computer, along with your position in the image. You can use Kaggle's Open Images Object Detection dataset for this project. There is a pre-trained object detection model that has been made open source called SSD. This model was trained on a dataset of everyday objects called Coco and can identify things like tables, chairs, and you can further train the output layer of this model on the Kaggle Open Images dataset to build your object detection system with high accuracy. Dataset, Kaggle Open Images Object Detection Dataset. 6. Animal Species Prediction. Another interesting computer vision project you can do is to predict an animal's species based on an image. You can do this with the Animals 10 dataset on Kaggle. There are 10 different categories of animals in this dataset: a dog, cat, horse, spider, butterfly, chicken, sheep, cow, squirrel, elephant. This is a multi-class classification problem, and you will need to predict the species of the animal based on its picture in the dataset. You can use a pre-trained model called BGG16 for this purpose. You can load this model into Python with the Keras library. BGG16 is a convolution neural net, CNN, architecture trained on ImageNet, which contains over 14 million images. It consists of pictures of everyday objects, fruits, vehicles, and certain species of animals. After loading the BGG16 model into Python, you can train on top of it with the labeled images in the Kaggle dataset to classify the 10 different types of animals. Dataset, Animals 10 Kaggle dataset. 7. Pneumonia detection with Python. Many diseases such as cancer, tumors, and pneumonia are detected using computer-aided diagnosis with the help of AI models. There are open image datasets available on Kaggle for disease detection. You can try your hand with disease prediction on one of these datasets: a chest X-ray images, pneumonia detection, dataset on Kaggle. This dataset consists of 3 types of labeled lung X-ray image: a normal, bacterial pneumonia, and viral pneumonia. You can build a model that categorizes a patient's health condition into one of these 3 categories based on an X-ray image of their lungs. To build this model, you can use a Python library called FastAI. FastAI is an open source library that allows users to quickly create and train deep learning models for various problems, including computer vision and NLP. This library provides a higher level of abstraction than Keras and is very easy to work with if you are a beginner. A problem that takes over 30 lines to solve with Keras can be solved in only 5 lines of code with FastAI. You can download the ResNet 50 pre-trained model from Fast AI and train on top of this model to build the classifier. ResNet 50 allows us to train incredibly deep neural networks with over 150 layers, and training on top of it will give you good results. Dataset: Kaggle chest X-ray images. Get free access to machine learning example codes for data cleaning, data munging, and data visualization. 8 Teachable Machine. If you are an AI enthusiast, you've probably heard about Google's Teachable Machine. Teachable Machine is a web-based tool that was created to make machine learning accessible to everyone. If you visit Google's Teachable Machine site, they allow you to upload pictures of different classes and then train a client-side machine learning model on these pictures. An example of how Teachable Machine works. There are 2 classes of images you need to upload. First, you upload around 100 pictures of yourself and label them as Class 1. Then, you upload another 100 photos of your cat and label it as Class 2. Then, you click on the Train Model button, and a client-side machine learning model will learn to distinguish between pictures of you and your cat. You can then use this model to make new predictions on images. Google released Teachable Machine some time ago, so people who aren't well versed with AI can visit the site and train their models. It allows non-technical people to get acquainted with machine learning. You can build your version of Google's Teachable Machine. The steps you need to take are as follows. Create a client-side application that allows users to upload images of multiple classes. Collect the images, transform them, and train them on top of a pre-trained model. You can do this on the client side using a language like JavaScript. Pre-trained machine learning models can be accessed in JavaScript through languages like ML5.js and TensorFlow.js. After the model is trained, send a notification on the screen, so the user knows it's done. Then, get the user to upload pictures of each class to make predictions on new images. Explore categories. Data science projects in Python, deep learning projects, neural network projects, TensorFlow projects, H2OR projects, IoT projects, Keras deep learning projects, NLP projects, PyTorch data science projects in banking and finance, data science projects in retail and e-commerce, data science projects in entertainment and media, data science projects in telecommunications. 9 Autocorrect tool. Autocorrect is an application of AI that we use every day. It makes our lives easier by taking care of spelling mistakes and grammatical errors. To build an autocorrect tool in Python, you can use the text blob library in Python. This library has a function called correct. If you call this function on a piece of text, it will identify incorrect words and replace them with the closest word to the one typed. It is a relatively simple task, but it's essential to keep in mind that the text blob library isn't perfect. The underlying algorithm cannot detect certain misspelled words and makes corrections when the initial word was correct, like replacing is with as. This tool isn't able to grasp the context between the 2 words and doesn't do any kind of mapping to identify words that are commonly used together. For example, if I were to write "I like your short" instead of "I like your shirt," the algorithm wouldn't correct me. These words are spelled correctly but don't fit in the context of the sentence. You can enhance the limitations of this model by building your own €SA. You can use a pre-trained NLP model like BERT that has been trained to predict words that fit into a specific context. 10 Fake product review identification. This AI project is similar to the Instagram spam detection project listed above. There are many business owners out there who fabricate reviews for their products to get sales, misleading individuals who are looking to purchase high-quality products. You can build a fake review identification system to solve this problem. Kaggle has a dataset called Deceptive Opinion Spam Corpus that you can use for this project. This dataset contains 1,600 hotel reviews. 800 of them are positive, and another 800 are negative. These reviews are all labeled, so you just need to do some data pre-processing and tokenization on all this data before training your model. You can use transfer learning for this purpose with pre-trained models like BERT, Roberta, and XLNet. Recommended reading. 8 Machine Learning Projects to Practice. Top 30 Machine Learning Projects Ideas for Beginners. 20 plus Data Science Projects for Beginners with Source Code. 15 Deep Learning Projects Ideas for Beginners to Practice. 15 Image Processing Projects Ideas in Python with Source Code. 15 Machine Learning Projects GitHub for Beginners. 15 plus Machine Learning Projects for Resume with Source Code. 15 Data Mining Projects Ideas with Source Code for Beginners. 20 Web Scraping Projects Ideas. 10 MLOps Projects Ideas for Beginners to Practice. 15 Object Detection Project Ideas with Source Code for Practice.